I don't know which direction I'm gonna dab on them. I don't know. Welcome to Inventory Full, right here on Twitch, and in accordance with Popcorn Talk, we're gonna be talking about whether or not Black Ops 4 is making the right decisions. And Patrick can't stop talking about God of War. It's Inventory Full, and it starts right now.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movie.
Inventory Full back in full effect right
Did you say
here.
in accordance?
Yeah.
I
don't know.
Are we in
I thought it
accordance
was
with?
beautiful.
Yeah, sure. We're in old timey Norse times. Yeah, why not?
It has been decreed,
piracy.
Nate. It has been decreed.
Not an assassin. Welcome to Inventory Full.
Hey!
I'm one of your hosts, Maria Menounos. That's Nate Miller.
What's up, nerds?
That's Stacey Shuttleworth. That's Patrick Dees.
Still Patrick Dees. What is up?
We're listening to the sultry sounds of Bear McCreary's God of War soundtrack.
Just waiting for the drums to come in.
It's hot. It's gonna come in hot and that brass.
Yeah.
Whoops. Anyway, so
on fire.
I don't know if it's just me, but
Should
it
we
seems
restart?
like Steve is just kind of slowly cranky.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Our show is now just the God of War soundtrack. We don't
I'm
get to talk
okay with
anymore.
that.
If we want to be pulled off of Twitch for that, I'd be all about it. Welcome to the show, everybody. Before we get into some of the major headlines surrounding Black Ops and Battlefield and all of that madness and mess and all of that, we're going to talk about some of the games that we were playing over the weekend. Now, I went and immediately retreated to my happy place, which was Minecraft, and just built stuff.
Why? Well,
I just needed it. I
one
needed
of those,
a minute.
One of those weekends.
Just like,
got it.
I need to hear cows mooing and pigs and just all sorts of stuff and just place blocks. Like I wasn't even like adventuring. I was just like, I literally spent a lot of time just making a big platform.
Oh, cool.
That I will then make stuff upon.
Yeah.
But yeah, that
is that your
feels good.
go-to comfort game, pretty much?
Yeah, I'd say it, in terms of readily available. If I just yeah, I'd say it's Minecraft.
Cool.
Yeah.
I think everybody has. I mean, most. Nate, you have one as well. A go-to game when you just want to comfort food. Not so much.
I actually am having like an existential crisis because I don't have a comfort game. Right now, my comfort game for years has been League, but like.
It's not so comforting anymore.
It's like cigarettes were like, it's comforting, but like it's bad for you.
Yeah.
Okay, look, I'm proud of you, like going cold turkey.
I haven't
That's
played
impressive.
in like a few days.
Okay,
so.
fair enough.
Feeling the itch already?
He's all. It's been
No,
two
not
days,
really.
14 hours, 37 minutes.
No.
Sorry, man.
Stacey, what have you been playing?
I have been almost playing Overwatch nonstop.
Really?
I knocked out all my comp.
I was gonna say just placements.
So we finally got around to doing our placements. It's like a week away from the season ending, which is usually how it happens with comp. So we knocked out all the placements, 10 matches in one single go. It was horrible.
That's too much. That's too much. It's not okay.
I mean, we had a good time, and we had all 6 of us together playing, so we had a reliable stack.
That's good. That's good.
So it was fine. And then we spent the rest of the weekend drinking wine and playing on PTR because they've got the Rialto map up on there.
Sweet.
Yeah. So the Rialto map that just came out on PTR is essentially the map that they debuted with the public event or with the new event.
Yes.
And how did it fare? How does it fare competitively versus storily?
This map is really interesting to play as a map.
What kind of a map is it?
It's an escort map.
Okay, it's an escort map.
So, yeah, you get on the payload. The payload is right outside spawn doors, so it's one of those you start right away. This map is so wide and meandering, though, and there are different paths you can go almost everywhere. No one knew the map yet, so it was all just a confusing. It's very spread out, so there's a very long distance between getting from your spawn to getting to the payload sometimes, and no one had quite seemed to figure out how to do that in the most direct manner. So you'd walk into a room and there was a widow trying to get through a window that wasn't actually open, so it was a big old hot mess that we were all figuring out together.
But how does it play? Is it fun?
It is fun.
Okay.
There's some interesting new mechanics on this map that's a lot of fun, and there's a couple that I think will be interesting. So
cool.
This map it looks really open. So there are bridges everywhere, only some of them that you can actually go on.
Okay.
So you think, oh, I'm going to go over to that bridge over there. Yeah, no, you're not.
Nope.
No, you're not.
Like invisible walls or natural?
Mostly just you fly into it and you die.
Oh,
and that's
all
right. So they have one of the canals and they've got actual boats going through it.
Can you
ride them?
You can go on the boats,
cool.
but you can't go in the water. If you go near the water, you're done.
Got it.
But you can go on the boats, and the boats go in a nice circular pattern. So that's going to be really interesting to see, especially on defense.
Who camps on the gondola?
What kind of characters jump on those boats?
Just like,
you got a turret going around.
Oh, man. That could be fun.
That's cool.
Nate, have you been playing anything? Actually, I saw you put it on last weekend, this week as well. You played a little bit of Radical Heights.
Yeah, I played a little bit.
Talk to me about Radical Heights.
Well, I mean, I don't
Not
really
enough
want
to
talk
really
about
enjoy it?
Yeah, I played it for a few minutes, and
Not
it
your
was kind
jam?
of buggy, and it was just not.
You weren't feeling it.
It was okay. I could see it being like fun to watch, and like it could be entertaining.
Yep.
But I just didn't see a reason to play it when I already have like PUBG.
Yeah,
and if I didn't have PUBG and I wanted something free to play, there's Fortnite because it's kind of cartoony. The shooting is definitely better than Fortnite, but it's also still very, very, very alpha.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, how early access is it?
Pretty.
I'd heard early on that too. There was like a lot of the levels were just like geometry, just like still gray box type stuff. Is that still the case?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't.
Didn't play long enough?
I didn't. I played like 3 drops.
Wasn't doing it for you.
Yeah.
How'd you do?
I died.
Okay. He's like, I don't even.
I killed somebody each time, but then I died. I think in the second fight.
Okay.
Each time. Yeah.
Did you like the aesthetic, like the tone? Like I think it looks cool.
Yeah,
it seems
I like the idea of like the money system and the buying stuff. It's interesting. I don't know how that's gonna work balance wise though.
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not sure about it.
I was just curious. Like, you're my go-to like battle royale guy. Like,
if it's free and it's on Steam, I'll probably try it at least.
What was the highlight of your gameplay weekend? I'll put it that way.
I got that. Well, I did. I got time to sit down and do the Assassin's Creed DLC. So I finished Hidden Ones.
Okay.
Cool.
It was pretty good.
Really? How long is it?
Not super long.
All right. As I own it and I haven't
5
started
or 6
it yet.
hours.
Okay, cool.
For like the main story.
That's actually
but
really
there's still
good.
a lot of side missions and like forts and stuff to find.
Game's dauntingly huge. It's
Yeah.
I'm still scared of it.
Yeah.
It's still, but I mean, it's not reinventing the wheel. It's very much all the same. And then I started the new one, the Curse of the Pharaohs one. I just did a few minutes, and I did a couple of the first new kind of like boss fights you get against these weird mummy demon things, and that was actually kind of interesting. But I had to
really
take a break
changes the environment, right? That one really different than the hidden ones.
I only played for a few minutes, but the boss fights themselves, that like the big demon things are. I fought 2 different ones, and each of them had a different fight mechanic, which I thought was cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
All right.
I have to get into more into that one some more.
But you're still feeling Assassin's Creed. Is it more of a?
It was just I was able to get the DLC, and I hadn't gotten it before, and even then, like, there's still stuff that like I still it's still the same me, and I'm still a little bit like, if I had a bar for how much fun I had, it decreased a little bit, but I filled it up again.
Okay.
So it might be a while before I go back.
I play video games. I know those mechanics.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
I know bars going on. Yeah, I get
Yes.
it. Thank you for breaking that down.
So Patrick.
Yeah.
As compressed as you can.
I'm a long-winded son of a bitch.
You don't say.
Yeah.
Why? Tell us about God of War.
Well, so I'll do this, and to ease this conversation. Like, so what do you guys want to know about it? Because I'll say this, I'm 13 hours in. I'll tell you a little bit about where I am. I'm about 13 hours in, and I will say, if this isn't the greatest video game ever created, it's in the conversation. And I mean that literally, unless it falls way off a cliff, which could, I don't know. Like, I genuinely don't know.
Patrick, I have to say, since you never hype things up, so
I know I'm like Captain.
This one time,
I like liking things, so I'm saying that right now. But
and I must say,
you love liking
I
things.
do. I am. I
wonderful God of 3 reference there.
What's that?
Unless it falls off a cliff.
Okay, fair enough. So
silly.
it very literally could. And full disclosure for people at home, like, my cousin was one of the design leads on this game. But he'd actually been setting me up for a long time to be to really like rein in expectations because I was like, it looks awesome, like it looks cool, and he kept going, just wait, like just wait, because this game really came together in the last couple of months before it was released, right? Like, which I think, I mean, games, the fact that they get made are miracles. But I will say, like, I'll say this, and then we'll answer questions if you guys have any. One of the reasons I say this is because like every facet of this game is best in class at what it does. Like, for example, I genuinely believe that the combat is crazy deep and intense. Like every fight is like, even as you level up, like it's like sweaty palm, like I'm nervous about this fight, like I could get overwhelmed, but it's really satisfying when I get better. And deep like a fighting game. Like there's even like stance switch mechanics later on.
Okay.
And you can go really deep, or you can button mash if you want. And so, which I think is awesome.
How does the axe feel?
Dude, literally my favorite mechanic in a game since active reload in Gears of War. Like I used to just love that, and I just love throwing.
I hated active reload.
Oh, is that right?
It
Not your
literally
jam?
made me stop playing
You're
that
like,
game.
nope. Then I don't know that the Leviathan is for you, but it does this thing where you throw the axe and it comes back, and you can throw it. And you can and then your fists become their own weapon, right? Like, and they have their own like stat tree, and they don't do as much damage as the axe does, but it does stun damage, which then allows you to do those like glory kills that you would do like in Doom. So there's a strategy behind that, but like when you pull it back, it hits everything in its way. So like if you throw it and like forget about it for a little bit, it'll go bling, bling, just hit all this stuff, and then it hits his hand, and it's this really satisfying like noise, but also there's a heft to it.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Do you get a little bit of that vibration, that little bit of that DualShock 4 when it comes back?
Yep, it's great.
All right, that sounds pretty damn cool.
Yep.
One of the other main issues I would say that people saw just looking at it is this a 18-hour, 20-hour long escort mission? How effective is Atreus on the battlefield?
So I think they do this really cool thing, like where like every like cruft in games, like everybody knows we hate escort missions. Everybody, like, they've solved for all this stuff. There's not like a side quest that isn't like meaningful or like voice acted and that contributes to the world. And Atreus certainly is incredibly capable. And there's actually a boy button, right? So you control Kratos, but the square is calling for him to do whatever he's going to do. And usually it's an arrow button, so he manages the range stuff. But as you level him up, he's got his own tree. He'll, like, when you're Kratos and you'll swing the axe, and you hit the ground really hard, he'll run up your back and jump off and start like nailing guys. It's awesome. And he's running around. Every once in a while, he'll get grabbed and he'll see a meter tick down, like your co-op buddy's like dying out, and he calls for your help. But he's incredibly capable. And he starts letting you know too, like when he's feeling more confident, he's like, I think I can handle some more, and then like different levels of his skill tree open up. It's awesome. He's great. I think the gameplay's fun. I think it is literally the best looking console game, and I'm not a member of this PC master class, but if it's not the best console game I've ever seen, it's up there. Like everything it does really, really well. So it's impressive. And again, like, who knows? The disclosure is like, this game could go really badly, but I'm probably halfway in. I got to a point where the game just changed dramatically, and it just continues to impress. It's incredible.
Now, how long do you think is it going to be like? Usually God of War games are about 6 to 8.
Yeah,
but you're already at hour 13.
Right. They say the main quest is 25 to 30, and then there's a whole bunch of other side stuff. So like the game, it starts, and this isn't wrecking anything, but it starts very linear. Like it's very much like a Last of Us, right? Like a very like there are paths you can follow, but more or less you end up at the same place. There's a point where that changes, and you can elect to go on what they call favors or side quests, or continue the main quest or whatever, and then go kind of wherever you want. And so I'm just at a point where that shift happened. Yeah, it's cool. I'm so impressed with this game. It's really something special, and I don't think every one of those elements are like best in class, and I still think that like it's still greater than the sum of its part, because everything it does really well. It's just a fun, tremendous experience, and I think it's a neat. Kratos is a complicated character. I think he's a piece of shit. I don't like those games. I think Kratos is a one-note Goliath. He's a terrible character, but all of a sudden it's like this idea of there's all this narrative depth, because now it's like this parenthood by like performance, right? Like, can you imagine like you live your life before you have kids, then you have a kid, and then what do you bring into that relationship with your child? Like, what do you tell your kid about your past? And what do you tell? And what is that fine line between preparing your child for the world or protecting your child from the world? And where is that? Like, so there's all on top of the game being incredibly fun to play, like in deep, like a God of War game. There's a lot of really cool things going on. I'm really just interested to see where it goes. So I'm so impressed with this game.
And I'm interested. I haven't played the game just as a fan of the God of War franchise. I'm interested to see how Atreus deals with being one quarter God.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see that. Did anybody have any questions for Patrick while we're talking about it?
Let's see. I know you're.
Nope.
You're shut up, Dees.
No, I'll play it.
I will say, like,
It's just like I'm not. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not surprised that it's really good. It's
okay. So
it's not like it's like a small studio. Like, oh my god, you guys gotta put it better be good.
Well, you know what's interesting too is because like Sony's model, right, is those first party studios, they measure success on them furthering the brand, right? So if this like didn't sell a copy and it was still like a 95 on Metacritic and it made PlayStation the like must-buy console, this was considered a success. So to your point, it's all the time, all the money, and all the access to technology in the world. The game better be good.
I'll be impressed.
But it still comes together. It's still magic.
When I see how they are planning to implement the life support of this game post-release, the game as a service way of them to make money off of it, then I will be interested.
But I don't think that's like Sony first party's MO, right? Like their goal is to introduce people into the ecosystem.
Right. But if we do get an old school, here's a DLC that's just some story. It's just actually like extra stuff for the game, not content or whatever.
I think the God of War 3 was just like a boss rush mode. If I remember correctly, that was just maybe a month or two after release. If I remember correctly, I'm probably not. But I was in the game store system at that point, trying to sell everything that I could. So I could be remembering that incorrectly.
I think he's an irredeemable character, and I think they're doing cool things with him. And the last thing I'll say about this, and I don't know if you guys know this, but like they shift the formula. So like all of the old God of War games are like far out, and they'll show tiny little Kratos against this huge boss to show scale. This is a one-shot game. From the very time you hit start, the camera never leaves Kratos. It never leaves. You can hit start and pause your game, but the camera never does the back and forth over shoulders. It is and it's up close. Like it's like up close Gears of War style thing, and it's incredible. So it's like a steady cam is running behind Kratos. It's unlike anything I've ever seen.
Okay, from the God of War franchise. Zavader in chat says, haven't played any God of War games, but I am living for the dad jokes and memes that have come from this game.
Oh, I believe that.
And I very much do agree. And if it weren't for, I don't know if I saw a spoiler or not, but the other day I opened up YouTube and one of the top videos in like, hey, you should be watching is like, hey, this happens in God of War.
Thank
and
you.
I'm like, oh.
I've been avoiding them. Like,
thank you.
I've been avoiding all of them.
Like, so I don't know. I don't know if it is anything or if it was just like a clickbait or if it was a YouTube poop or anything. But I'm not going to do any research until I play the damn game.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to playing it. Can you climb mountains?
Yeah, there's climbing.
Best of luck, Stacey.
I
Best
know.
of luck.
Here I go.
But are there books?
So he goes around. Kratos can't read, but his son can because he grew up in this area. So his son runs around to translating the lore. It's really cool. And doesn't give a shit about the Norse gods. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, who are these Norse? I already killed all the gods. Like I'm the god. He's like, I don't give a shit about these people. And it's just like, yo, they're like legit. It's cool. The kid's dope.
So it's like Dadston, like Gaston, but as a dad. It's like, where are all the pictures? Like so. That was fine. That wasn't even terrible. I've got more. You better gear up. Shout out to our audio listeners.
My tolerance is down because I wasn't here last week.
That's what it was. Something that I wanted to mention really quickly because I've been playing it a lot and like engineering my time to when like the time resets.
Okay.
And it's something that probably none of y'all even care about. Capcom shutting down their free Puzzle Fighter mobile game already.
What?
Shut up.
No.
Shut your goddamn mouth. Shut your goddamn mouth.
I'm very sorry for your loss.
I don't have a lot of time to play video games. So when I find a good one that I can play on my goddamn phone, I take that time and I run with it.
I just got a Game Boy Advance emulator on my phone.
Oh, sick.
Oh, that's
cool.
It's very cool.
Yeah. It's great.
New things though, but
You're being picky.
I'm a little bit. I'm real sad. They announced that it's going to be shutting down July 31st. Presumably, they haven't announced that they are working on the new Dead Rising game, but it is coming from the same studio that was doing this development. What a jump!
Dead Rising puzzle fighter game?
No, just Dead Rising.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Back,
Which is a weird way to like announce the next Dead Rising, right? Like, it's like, yo.
But yeah, they gave everybody like the free payable currency, so like
they
you just
did?
go crazy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, that's bad.
Oh no, but I was like in and out this past weekend. So when I opened up the game and saw that I had like an extra 15,000 gems, I checked my bank statement immediately.
Oh, I bet.
And I was
my
like,
God.
did somebody steal my thing? And like for some reason,
That's amazing.
But it's fun puzzle fighter goodness. If you want to get addicted to something that's going to be gone and out of any app store by July 1st. You got a couple of months, because why the hell not? But I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I'm sad to see it go. That just means I'll have to find something new to play, I guess. Hey, who got the Labo? No one? Great. Well, guess what? Nintendo is already offering free replacements in case your cat, significant other, or child has already torn through the cardboard. And some of day one, they said, oh, hey, if you need replacement parts, we got you covered. So the pricing seems a little ridiculous for me.
Oh,
I can just see them opening the box.
Yeah.
And it just yeah.
Wait, where is it? Oh, that's it. Oh,
Whoops.
Wait, get to that pricing
cardboard.
part.
So to replace the fishing rod, that'll cost you $9 plus shipping.
Okay.
The variety kit, house, motorbike, piano, and RC ranges from $3 to $12. And then the robot kit, which is the huge, like you pay for, like there's the variety pack and there's the robot pack. If you get each part individually replaced, it will cost you $62 without software. So it costs as much as the game to replace the entirety of the robot. But don't you worry, if you just want to customize your stuff and are taking care of your cardboard, Nintendo is selling the Nintendo Labo customization set, which is essentially stickers and tape for $10, and you can go and pick it up from Nintendo.com.
Well, that's nice of them. They didn't have to do that.
No, they didn't.
Did you guys know? Do you know anybody that picked it up?
No.
Well,
I knew a couple people, but not anybody that I could go demo. Like they're far away people.
I know some people who did. They legitimately. The one feedback was the cardboard's like surprisingly like heavy duty, but I don't know anybody else that picked it up.
What would you guys expect from them?
I don't, dude. It's still cardboard.
If it was
you're
Xbox,
right.
like it'd be like literally be paper. But
not like
Nintendo,
particles.
You're right.
If they're gonna sell you some cardboard, it's especially
it's gonna be some good ass cardboard
for kids
too.
too.
It's true.
Yeah,
it's
know
true.
what
No,
they're
you're right.
doing.
I've seen a lot of pictures of cats tearing through like the big pieces already, and I'm just like,
cats don't care.
no, of course cats don't care.
Cats don't care.
If you have,
They need to make
Cat
a
wants
cat
to sit
Labo.
on that. That's all they want
Cats
to do.
don't care.
they do need to make a cat Labo.
Best.
Cats don't care. You know what people do care about?
What's that, Mark?
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
Yeah, they do.
I play that.
Oh, okay. So Nate, I don't know if you knew this,
Hey, no.
but soon a map selection option
what
will be coming to PUBG, as it's shortened
The kids
by
call
the fans. They
That's
call
what
By
it
the kids.
PUBG. So how does this fit into the play style of like the randomness or being able to get into a particular map? Like what do you think about this news?
From what I've seen, the option that they're looking at is just check boxes, so it's more of like an opt-in, opt-out than like
By
select
map,
map.
Okay.
Right. So I'm cool with that. I prefer randomness just because I like the variability in the game. I like for the games to be different. But I understand why some people like certain maps more and only want to play on one map.
Yeah.
Also, the RNG in that game sucks. So sometimes we'll just play like 8 games and it'll all be on Miramar. And I like Miramar, but sometimes I want to play in Erangel. So it'll be nice to have, all right, we played enough of that match. Let's switch it up and be able to have some control over that. Also, with the third map, Savage, coming out somewhere in the next few months, that'll be another, especially with that being a smaller map size, that not only is just a variety, but it's a different gameplay choice too, really. So.
You gonna say something about it?
No, I mean, like, but that essentially accomplishes what you were talking about, right? Like, essentially, if I just opt into all maps, then it, like, ostensibly should just randomize that, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
And still no word on when any of this stuff is coming to Xbox One. They don't even have Miramar, the Xbox One version of PUBG.
And,
They have
and it's
been
made
getting-
out of shitty cardboard.
Oh, that is what it is.
It's
That's
just
why.
so
They have
bad.
been getting updates.
It's that Microsoft cardboard. That
They
keeps
have
talking
still
about.
been getting balance updates and like quality of life updates. They just haven't got the
They
new
need to
map,
nail the quality of life stuff first before adding new stuff.
I mean, because there's no reason to add another map if no one can play the base game.
Well, I think it would be like it could be a sign of goodwill to be like, oh, we're working on the stuff, but while we're waiting, here's Miramar.
I think they're going to be like, hey, guys, remember when we released this game? It's actually ready now. So here, have this new map in celebration. Did you play the event?
I played the 10.
The 8,
The group-
the one from this one. It was
No,
8
I just played the last one, the
with
10 and 10 and
with
10.
the car. They had a flare gun you could shoot up to summon your own airdrop, but if you're outside the circle, it summons a UAS that has like armor around the windows. Yeah, it was
No,
stupid.
that sounds super silly.
You can shoot out of them. It's supposed, and they're pretty safe. But I shot a few people in the windows, so it wasn't that safe. But what was most fun, my friend and I joined. Shout out to Reddit. We joined the subreddit for PUBG's Discord.
Yeah.
And they have a looking for group server, and we just joined up with some random people late in the evening.
Cool.
And man, let me tell you, there is nothing like the internet.
Oh, I believe that. Yep.
Never heard of it.
Why would you watch reality TV when you can just experience these random people
Yes.
in your ear,
Yes.
in your own home,
Yep.
speaking nonsense to you?
And you would
Man,
never
it
welcome
was
into your own
spectacular.
home.
I would never.
You know.
Would never. The
Only
best part
digital.
is when they act crazy and you're like trying to contain yourself and be polite because somebody's got to be civil, right? And then he sends you a friend request because he thinks that you want to be friends with him.
you're pretty good.
Yeah.
Zavader says
No.
8-man squad was a fun event with mates, but also total chaos.
Yeah, it was chaos, but I mean, I'm liking these events. It gives me another reason to pick up the game other than just, oh, I'm going to play some PUBG.
Yeah,
whatever.
sure. Yeah, yeah.
It's nice to be like, hey, guys, let's get on. Also, not that I have 8 people to play with, but if I did, to be able to have those big teams, I think it's really fun. And it's a different game, like especially when you get down to the later circles, you
Yeah.
get these massive fights. And it's also really funny when you were the 2 left of the 8, and then there's 2 other 8 teams going at it, and you're just kind of sneaking around trying to pick people
Picking the
off.
pieces.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Yeah.
Oh, that one sounds a lot more fun than the 10 on 10 on 10, which was just horrible for me.
Yeah. I like that because it was a good warm up, good aim practice, because you die and you drop in right away. They just did deathmatch. But some of the circles were like not good. We did one on school where we were on the roof of the pool building, and we basically just secured the roof, and that circle is so small that like when they come out of the plane, we could just shoot them out of the sky. The parachutes.
Really?
Yeah. And then they would try to land to take the roof from us, and then we would just mow them down.
Yeah,
and
like,
land
what
on
are you
the
gonna
roof.
do?
Yeah.
pretty
Eventually, they
great.
got smart and landed outside school and started chucking grenades up there, at which point
As
there's
you do.
nowhere for us to go,
Yeah.
and then we got screwed. But we were 2 ahead by that point.
Strategery.
Yeah, I like the
Yeah.
events. I hope hopefully they get more. At least I like the war one because at least like it was weird, but at least it was actually different. It was
Yeah.
a different
No,
mode.
It was a cool mode. I was
Yeah.
just really bad at it.
This one,
That's what I'm
I
saying when
feel
it was
you.
bad for
Yes.
me.
Well, I was also really bad too. There's definitely certain like that will show you the people who play like, all right, let me loot and let me get a nice spot. Oh, there's a guy. All right, okay, I got him. And then the guys that are like, oh, let's go, I gotta go, let's go. He's around the corner. Ah! People are crazy.
Yeah.
Really good.
Tell me more about these crazy people on the internet.
Wait, really?
It was one of those things where like, man, I should be streaming this right now. This is gold.
You get there.
Oh man, this guy.
Speaking of getting there, Campo Santo was
Yeah.
recently acquired by Valve. They're working on the upcoming game Valley of the in the Valley of the Gods, which
right.
looks real cool.
Super
And
dope.
also, if anybody ever played Firewatch,
Yep.
which I believe that side of the table did,
Yes, we did.
What does this mean for Campo Santo? What does this mean for Valve?
Stacey?
I mean, I think they get a whole new breathtaking kind of style introduced.
I think it means resources. Like these guys, it's an indie studio. Like I don't know if you know Jake Rodkin. These guys, they did the Walking Dead first season of Telltale. They left and did Firewatch. Created their own studio. Incredibly talented people, but it's an indie studio, right? So imagine there's some of the best storytellers in the game, but now having the resources. Valve said, like Gabe said, yo. He said, "Yo, like we're gonna start putting games out," and I never would have thought. I thought it would have been organic. They'd start piecing together teams, but buying Campo Santo just gives them the resources to do really cool shit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like Jake Rodkin, founder of that studio, is a huge Portal dude. Like I think it'd be rad to get their take on a Portal game. Like it'd be awesome.
But In the Valley of the Gods is 2019, if I remember, like early 2019.
Yeah. The thing that my concern about that being a console guy is that like they have a distribution platform already. I might not see that game on consoles, even though it was announced already. Like if Valve is genuinely,
But if there are any deals already in place, I mean, they
don't
just
have to
acquire
honor them.
them.
Yeah.
They could buy out of those ones,
Yeah.
and it just is PC for a little while.
so we'll see. I mean, like I don't know. I don't know. I really hope that I still get to play that game in a timely manner. But like I can't wait. To me, that's really good news. Like really talented dudes with a lot of great resources. You get games like God of War, which is one of the best games of all time.
And we're back.
I know. No, but like that's
Didn't
awesome.
take long at all.
I was so excited for those guys. Is my point. Like they do the Idle Thumbs podcast, like whatever. I feel like I have this one-way relationship with these guys because I listen to their podcast. But like incredibly talented, open, transparent guys who talk a lot about game dev and the challenges of the industry. And like I think it's awesome.
It's good.
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I think I would love to see Portal from these folks as well, or even just
I think that might be
take Portal into a
for a
new
lot.
space.
Yeah, sure.
Like not necessarily have the source.
Oh, yeah.
Look,
Yeah,
or the
no,
Gary's,
totally.
like the Gary's mod, or having the source look, the Half-Life look, and then making Portal into its own
Or
thing.
side stories in that universe.
Something-
Totally, I would love
something
it.
like that.
Totally.
I wonder what's going on at Valve.
Same. Well,
Between this and
they're making Artifact,
yeah.
and there's another thing that they had on the slate.
He said, Gabe said also that he was really jealous of like Miyamoto and Nintendo, right? Like that when they build software, they're able to influence hardware as well. And
Yeah.
he said that at the Artifact reveal, and it's a weird, it's a weird thing. I don't know.
That's not a one-to-one.
It's what he said though. So like,
I
so
know,
does it mean
but,
they're
like,
getting back in the software?
Steam
I know.
is not
Right.
a system.
I get it. So like, but
Steambox
no,
is the
but
word.
he like does it mean they're going to start
Right.
getting into that Steambox
Yeah.
world? Are they building hardware? Because they didn't have like engineers on staff before they got into the Vive, and now they
Right,
do.
right.
So I don't know. I'm really excited to see what they do in the next few years.
Try to redo Steambox without making it Steambox and just have it be a Steam PC.
Right.
I would buy something.
Me
like
too.
that.
100%.
Yeah.
I really wanted that to take off.
I think one of the main problems with the Steam box is there were so many SKUs.
Yep.
You know, because Alienware did their own version, this company did their own version, that company did their own
Valve
version.
didn't do their own version.
Well, theirs was just a stream box that just connected your
Right.
PC
Right.
to your TV.
Still.
They made an Apple TV for gaming,
Right.
but it wasn't good.
No exposure though is my point.
yeah,
They didn't
no
really
exposure.
invest in
Also,
it.
TVs aren't made to play video games on most of the time.
Okay,
That's the other thing.
4K.
Especially PC. Well, it's also the refresh rate.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I'm about it.
4K.
4,000
Ks?
Ks.
So many Ks.
4,000 Ks.
Lots of Ks.
4K. I watched Westworld in 4K last night.
Wow.
It looks so
Real good, right? Yeah.
Refreshing.
Yeah.
That is the way to watch that.
Wow.
It does melt your face a little bit.
I'm exhausted.
I haven't
hey,
seen that show.
so let's stay in the world of battle royale a little bit longer.
Please.
Everyone else
There's a
is.
rumor going around
Shit. God.
that EA Dice is testing a battle
I like
royale
battle
mode
royale games.
for Battlefield 5
Nobody.
that will feature similar gameplay to mega hits Fortnite and PlayerUnknown. This comes from
I've never
Venture
heard of
Beat.
those games.
Me either. It's the PUBG that we were talking about. Yeah.
Why didn't you just say that?
I'll do that. I'll preempt.
It's gonna be all
PUBG
fancy
2.
to us.
Yeah, this will be essentially PUBG 2, Electric Boogaloo, but it's Dice is prepping Battlefield 5, which presumably is going to be their big release this year.
Correct.
And I don't care.
Really?
Oh, so you really feel
no.
This is
Battlefield.
gonna blow. If they
You're
do
right.
this right,
And it's polished and their destructible
gonna
environment.
blow
It's going to be
PUBG out of the
fucking
water.
awesome.
It's gonna
I
be
totally
over.
agree.
It's gonna
These
be
guys
done.
can
It's gonna be like,
walk
what's
in
PUBG?
here.
If they drop this game with like 3 maps,
Yes,
and it's all polished and it has dice level shooting
and it feels good.
destructible environments.
I agree.
And shit,
I'm glad Nate's on the
it's
same page.
fucking
I fucking agree.
See ya.
Totally agree.
And they know
Same
it.
with the movie.
God.
And they know it. And I agree. Like I think this is the year, and we're going to talk about Call of Duty in a minute, but I think this is the year that they turn this into a platform.
The Call of Duty one's gonna be whack. But.
I think so too, but my point is like, what if this becomes their platform? This becomes their. They're not doing an annualized or every 2 years, right? Like this is their games as service, and they're just releasing modes and maps into this.
So Battlefield has always been the like mainstream Arma. It's like it's like Army Sim serious, but not all the way in.
But
so
I'm so excited.
Sense.
I think this looks fucking awesome. I'm very excited about it.
Yeah,
great.
We're in
as much as I can get. Yeah,
as much as we're tired of BR games, this is the one we've been waiting for.
If it looks good and plays good.
It's DICE.
Yeah,
like,
I
know. Destructible environments. Are you kidding me? The map will always be different. It's gonna be fucking rad. I love that.
Until EA gets their hands on it.
It probably now we're about. There's also the rumor that Black Ops 4 isn't launching with a single player mode, but the main headline mode is going to be a BR mode.
Yeah.
Now
it's not much of it's pretty confirmed. We're gonna find out very soon. But.
Yeah. When's the announcement date? May 17th is the Black Ops event. But there is also another report that it's going to be leaning heavily on Overwatch's mechanics. Brain. It's like right now, it's not. It doesn't look good. We are. Months away from
hot take.
Hot take. Months away from any sort of release or going gold or anything, and just the multiplayer as opposed to the battle royale is just not in any sort of a recognizable good.
Well, the single player's not. They cut it.
Exactly. The single player, no, but in terms of like multiplayer that Call of Duty is known for, still being around and trying to make that work, because wasn't it was Black Ops 3 that had all of the specialists?
Yep.
Am I right in that?
Yep.
How did that work?
They were. I mean, it was early hero shooter type stuff. Like they had a guy that was a ground pound, and it was fine. It wasn't my jam, but it was very much leaning into that hero shooter. They didn't do enough to differentiate. Like the thing about this magic about Overwatch is like, and you guys can tell me because you play a lot more of it. But for me as a noob, like you could see an outline from a distance, and I know exactly who that is and what they're bringing to it and how to counter that. And I don't think that Call of Duty did that in a meaningful way.
Well, and they make a point to do that. That's why they have given the characters specific runs. That's why Moira has the neutral one and the Naruto run. I mean, it's on purpose so that she can be recognized from far away.
For sure.
And that is, that makes it a lot easier as a player.
And Call of Duty didn't do that. But I cannot believe that on 3-year dev cycle that we won't have a single player. For Call of Duty, what? Is this the year that they become a platform? Just finally, just fucking now this is the Black Ops platform. This is this is their battle royale, and every year they're gonna start updating this because they've been talking about it for a while.
Then I'd be surprised. I'm surprised that they would go with a numbered entry.
I agree. So what is why even because it's got so much brand
Black
cachet?
Ops World.
Is that why? If you don't have a campaign, it's crazy.
What?
I love the Black Ops campaigns. I'm still bummed out. I play all the Call of Duty campaigns.
Yeah.
Sucks. But who gives it? Do you guys care about this battle royale mode in a Call of Duty?
The Black Ops one a lot less than the Battlefield.
Yeah, me too. I don't think it's even close.
Yeah. I'm just.
What I don't understand is how can you be a hero shooter and also a BR game at the same time?
I think they're two modes.
Yeah,
right. But if they're based off of the same system, the game shooting system.
Totally don't know.
Didn't Paladins try doing that?
Yeah,
and it was just didn't work out.
Yeah.
Okay.
They decided to, if they're going to do it, they need to make it into a whole nother game because it's just you can't balance
right.
Everyone's just gonna find out the best person to pick and just pick that person.
Right. It's like 100 Donicas. Yeah, just the best person.
He said the best.
Hero shooters work because you have characters that are stronger, have strong points and weak points.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They have to balance each other out.
Of these two, I know I didn't sound excited for Battlefield, but I do agree that Battlefield, from a look, a feel, a design, it's a little bit more dynamic for me. I'm just I'm feeling the BR fatigue.
Yeah.
And I don't even play them.
I know,
primarily.
me neither. I'm sick of talking about them. But like their tech's almost there. Like their big maps are already 64 players, right? So like, which is orders of magnitude bigger than any Call of Duty map right now, right?
Yeah.
Like so, which is old Quake tech. I still can't believe that they're on that engine. But anyway,
It feels good.
oh, it's cool.
So what else in the world of gaming are people excited about? That's what I want to ask. So I did.
Did you?
I did.
Did you just do that right now?
Partially. I also had a stroke.
Oh, you look great for the
Thank
stroke.
you.
Yeah, no, you're covering nicely.
I do what I can. But like I didn't, to be perfectly honest, I didn't think that we'd go through all this stuff so quick. That's why I didn't
know,
put
yeah.
so many flipping
We're
things
just
on them.
so
why we
tired
rushed
of
us in the
Battle
beginning.
Royale.
Yeah, we
know,
really don't care.
About Battle Royale?
Like, I'll
You
give it
haven't
a try.
even been playing BR games to be
And I'm-
tired of
and I'm
them. You're just tired
exhausted.
of hearing them.
Yeah.
Well, no, you're tired of talking about them because we.
Well,
do
so
this
let me
show.
ask
the
you,
only
Nate,
hear
Nate,
about
as
everything.
our Battle Royale expert, let me ask you this: like, what?
That's me.
What?
This is Mark on
You
this
should have seen
show.
me playing the other night.
What?
Battle Royale expert.
All right, heights.
Hackers.
What? Like, how many of these can the market sustain? Not, I'm like, how many leaders?
A lot.
You think
it's
so?
just like it's just another. It's just a shooting game that
Yeah.
just has. It's just a game type. So like, it's like how many Counter Strikes, how many Call of Duty Battlefield, how many shooters do we have?
It just with the size of the maps. I mean, like, and like the fatigue. I don't know, like because at some point, like all of those games are so fundamentally different. They bring different things to those games,
Right.
And at some point, there's a sameness. It's like every like how many horde modes if they were, you know what I mean? Like at some point,
Yeah,
like it's old.
but I think we're still really early in though. I think a lot of people are not fatigued. And,
I don't think so
I
either.
think the core audience is so large already that there's people who've been playing that are going to grow. But I think there's still plenty of people, especially console people,
Yep.
that have not still fully jumped onto it. And I think also it being developed as a game mode into other games as not maybe the main point of the
Yeah.
game, but as another mode will help grow it too. But also like developers like DICE who are going to put the time in to have a progression system that is rewarding to keep people playing.
Right, totally
too.
agree. Yeah.
And yeah, just the idea of DICE, like after, especially you play Battlefield 1, like and bombs are going off and like it's
rad.
I mean it's not realistic, but it's
but
pretty good.
It feels
And then-
epic. There's a scale
Right.
to it, right?
And so
like
thinking,
totally.
and that's the thing for PUBG that gets me playing that game is those heart racing moments where it's like, oh, I heard him. He's in that building.
Yeah.
He's like, but which window is he in? And then when you're in the red zone and the explosions are going off all around you and the glass is breaking, and in a DICE game where some guy's in the bathroom and you chuck a grenade in there and it actually blows a hole in the wall.
Yeah, totally. And you run in the other side, and yes, I know. So like, yeah, that gets me very
sounds so
excited.
cool.
I agree.
So I'm super hyped for that.
I hope it happens.
I think consoles are looking for a BR leader still.
Yep.
Because on PC, it's pretty much decided. I would say at least between Fortnite and PUBG, for varying.
Well,
reasons.
I think the thing, yeah. Well, one is free, which kind of splits
Pretty
the
good
base
reason.
too,
Yeah.
and then also one is is less realistic, less focused on shooting. So those are kind of the two things that split the player base. But I think this DICE game, if it's what I think it will be like, will check all the boxes of the PUBG plus more. So whatever they're working on over there.
I hope they launch the campaign
better
though too.
pump it out.
Just give me a 6-hour,
I don't know if we're
easy
gonna-
breezy.
Something real quick.
I want to get a
I-
campaign. I want to get a battle
Bad
royale story Murder Island campaign where you play
Yeah.
as a guy who actually has to like.
Okay,
It lasts over like maybe a week or something, but you gotta like
I can get behind that.
hunt some people down and
Yeah,
survive.
a
kill the
cutscene.
guy that captured everybody on the
Yeah.
island or whatever. I'd be
Yeah,
into
that'd be
that.
fun. What now? I say that I'm the one that's fatigued despite barely playing any of these, but still having 3 of them downloaded on my computer and ready to play. Is there anything that, so we've got a story mode, but is there anything that these will have that? Well, I'm answering my own goddamn questions. That's how tired I am. But so DICE is going to add its special flavor to make it exciting and make it worthwhile. What can Black Ops do?
Dude, I don't know. I do not think it's that. Call of Duty still feels good, right? Like that still feels good to shoot in those games. Like say what you want about it, but they're incredibly polished. You don't think so? I mean, I prefer Battlefield. If you ask me either or,
there's just something about Call of Duty games, even in just like the sprint animation and the way the whole screen, like I don't know, I just can't do that.
It still feels good. I still think every year they're the best selling video game, right? Like console game. So I don't know. I don't know what they do to differentiate themselves, and I don't understand this Black Ops.
I'm surprised we haven't heard about Halo VR yet.
We haven't heard anything about Halo.
Shit about Halo.
Well, they need to do
you guys?
something.
Okay, let me ask you this about Halo while you mention it, because I'm curious to see what you guys think. I was thinking about this earlier today, right? So this is year 3. We should hear something about that. Typically, 3 years is the longest cycle they've been in. Do you think that that our friend of the show, Phil Spencer, pushes Halo 6 off to the next console? Right, because at some point, like I know this console sold very well, but like at some point, do you say, "Yo, like we need our launch software to be the console mover"?
If this life cycle is supposed to be longer than others, and they just launched the Xbox One X, I think this is the thing that cements it for the people that didn't get it at launch to be like, "Oh, we have Halo that's optimized for the Xbox One X coming this year." Nail it. I think.
You think they announced this year at E3?
I think they announce and release this year.
Fuck, that'd be great. That'd be great. And on the other side of Red Dead?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They're gonna own that in November.
They want to try to. Damn it!
Good.
It's all about that money.
You don't think so, Nate? I think they've been so quiet. I don't know that we see a Halo this year. That'd be
I
be
want
rad.
Halo to die.
Wow. Well,
No, but as a fan, no. Like this, I would say, speaking as big of a fan as you are.
Talk to me about that. Like, what does that mean?
Do you mean the Master Chief story or just Halo?
I in both.
Okay.
Just leave it alone. It's been a vicious downward spiral since 3. Even Reach was okay, but
it dies.
It was fun. But
yeah, Reach was like the Bungie filling out their agreement, right? Like there was like, hey, I actually really like that game, but like I get why they like phoned that one in. They were working on Destiny. Their heart and soul was on that. They bought their own independence. Which, by the way, I just read Jason Schreier's Blood, Sweat, and Pixels, and the chapter on the development of Destiny is really something else, man. The whole Marty O'Donnell thing, totally worth it.
They just had a summit too. Over the past few days.
Did they?
Yeah, they invited a bunch of the streamers and personality people to come down to Bungie and talk to them about the game.
They announced their expansion is tomorrow.
Yeah.
You know how excited? Do you see the teaser today?
No,
30
I'm not
seconds.
fucking excited.
I know.
I'm gonna play it.
I don't know who
I already
hurt you.
paid for it.
I know.
What do you mean you don't know who hurt me? Bungie.
Bungie hurt you.
Deej, I'm calling you out.
Yeah. Personally.
Luke Smith. That's really who's to blame. Come at me, bro.
There's a lot of Luke Smith in that book.
Yeah, I mean,
but like, what do you mean? Going back to Halo, though, like, what do you mean like it died though? Because I am with you that they need to overhaul some stuff, but I would still like some more in that world. I'm not saying like let's spit out another formulaic Halo. You just want done like 343 moves on to something else.
Yeah, it's a shadow of what it was. I mean, clearly there are people that play the game. I know that I've seen some competitive stuff on Twitch sometimes.
They keep funding huge prize pools to keep people interested in that game.
It's just, it doesn't, you look at the game, it looks nothing like a Halo game. Like, outside of like maybe the art style.
It is,
but
yes,
that's
the art.
the gameplay wise, nothing.
Still feels a little Halo. Did you play 5?
No.
Oh, I did. It feels like
another non-Halo game.
It feels like a Halo game. It feels Halo-y.
You mean the game that's about the Master Chief and the other guy?
Spartan Locke.
But
that was a major problem in their advertising. No, I'm not defending that game. Like so that game's also fucking weird. Like there is several parts
Walking Dead problem.
in the middle of that game.
Let him say what he wants to say.
In the middle of that game, there's like weird hubs where you walk around towns and like talk to people. There was a point where that Halo 5 was a very different game. Then they're like, nope, we got to push this to market. Like, it's crazy that like there's this whole town you can walk around and like go talk to Halsey and then like do all these things. It's like, wait, what? It's so weird. So like there was a major pivot in that game, but I still think there was a lot of promise.
It seemed very similar to any sort of second iteration in a trilogy where they overshot, they way overshot and went, well, 2 is going to be cut super short. and maybe we see that big expanse as a major feature of Halo 6.
We'll see, man.
Maybe.
It's tough.
Either way,
big shoes to fill.
Any game that gets onto number 6, despite not being even more than that,
If it's not a sports game, like
Yeah.
what are you doing?
I think that many games have already iterated on what made that original special already.
And even then, if we look at like, I would say maybe Elder Scrolls probably is the only other thing that it has that many numbers.
Mortal
That
Kombat.
I can, yeah, but look at those games.
Yeah.
The core gameplay is the same. They've definitely updated them and added new systems and stuff.
Yeah, and so
but
is
when
Halo.
you look at,
It feels the same. Like you didn't even play the game. I'm with you.
there's like abilities that let you jump in,
Yeah,
like
it's
do
a-
air
it's a-
dodges.
You've got
Yeah.
to evolve.
It's
That's
evolving.
such a crazy problem for like any iteration because you got to change it enough that like you've got to incentivize people to buy the new one, but you can't tweak it in too much because then people do that same thing. And go, it's not fucking the game that I wanted to play.
Even the way that
I think
weapons
it's so tough.
work and the
ADR.
the kill times,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then but even also just weapon spawns and like weapon spawning on the map and like which weapons and like
Yeah.
the weapons you can start with. There's a lot of things that are. It's like it's so far from. The things that made Halo when it came out, like, holy crap, this is a very unique shooter. The things that set it apart from Call of Duty, from Battlefield 2049, from whatever other shooting games from Counter-Strike
Yeah.
that were out when the game came out,
Well, Call of Duty
are
was
all like...
Call of Duty 8 is lunch, right? After Modern Warfare. So I think like that's a problem. You have to evolve. I agree with you. Like I remember those games were like a special place in my heart.
Yeah.
I just really empathize because like I don't if I put myself in their shoes, like what do you change to like you still want to attract that base, but you have to evolve and you have to change. Otherwise, like I wouldn't want to play Halo 1 doesn't play great right now.
If I was them, I would make... If you absolutely have to keep the Halo thing, because branding is a thing, and they want to make money,
Yeah, sure.
I get it. Just don't do another numbered Halo. You do something else. You
I'm good
do
with that.
Halo Spartan Locke stories or
Locke was
Halo.
Yeah, I'm with you.
like with the Halo Reach thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. I loved Reach. I like Reach
and
more
then
than most.
that gives you a lot of freedom. People will say, okay, it's not a even. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but
Hmm.
if you take the number off something, I give it a lot more freedom.
Yeah,
Right? 'Cause
yeah.
it's like, yeah, it's associated with the brand,
Yep.
but it's not.
But they have, now they're kind of screwed too because they've got to finish this arc, so they still
Yeah,
need the
they
six.
have
I know
to-
what you're
that's the
saying. You're
story.
right, but
I know.
they major cliffhanger at the end of the
Right.
game, and I'm like, come on, like yeah. So I
So
think
they've got what you're saying is they have to finish the fight.
they're still finishing the fight
Yeah.
apparently.
Yeah,
Well, a lot of
dun,
finishing, a lot of I know.
Like that's the most hype Halo moment still is
Oh,
I think the reveal of
100%.
the Master Chief reveal like, oh, this could be something new. Nope. Cool. I'm still into it. Hearing that Steve Vai
Did you
music
hear
play in
that
the back.
Shit, like they pitched that game. It was like Halo, like Locke versus
Yeah.
Master Chief. And it
What's-
was none of that.
What's the truth?
Yeah, none of that. They had.
I feel bad because Mike Coulter is a great actor.
He's fine.
All right.
The game.
Well, I
Yeah,
just mean
I
in
just
general.
don't.
Okay, probably.
Did anybody watch the series?
Luke
Halo
Cage?
Nightfall?
Oh yes, yeah.
I think that was the
that was
best thing to come out of Halo 5.
That's true. That's true.
Was that web
I'm
series.
rooting for them to be successful. I'm with you. They have a lot of problems, and it's super uphill battle. I just want them to be successful.
I hate seeing like things that are once great or like legendary. Just
I could see that.
Just get
I can see that.
just dissolve into decline.
Dragged through the slime and the
Yeah,
mud.
I could
don't
see it.
know.
So, Stacey, Assassin's Creed Battle Royale. Tell us everything.
God.
Dude, did you see
Horror.
Did you see Housemarque announce a battle royale game?
What?
Yeah, I'm not making this up. This was earlier today. I know the guys that they make the arcade games were like, well, no, we're pivoting to a battle royale, and they didn't say what it is. So I don't know if it's like a top-down twin stick shooter battle royale or what. But like everybody's getting in on this jam. Housemarque. I know.
I'm excited for Roller Coaster Tycoon Battle Royale.
Who isn't?
Straight.
So, does that work like a traditional battle royale, or is it like how many people you can send flying off of an unfinished roller coaster?
I think it's a
Yup.
design competition that
Right.
ends in most lawsuits.
Did you finish Far Cry 5 yet?
No.
Oh.
No. I'm working on it.
No, according to the game, she's been playing Overwatch, Far Cry 5, Assassin's Creed Origins, and Ready Player One.
I'm busy hiding from planes right now that are trying to catch me.
Just gotta get a rocket launcher.
How about
Oh,
Bear?
I have it.
Yeah, she's Queen Rocket Launcher.
Oh, I have actually. I took a clip the other day that I've got to share.
Please do.
Yeah, it was my best rocket launcher moment to date.
I don't know. That bear one was pretty solid.
Just.
Yeah.
All right. 2 bears?
Not quite. 2 something.
Just something that I want to talk about that's not necessarily Battle Royale, but wanted to pivot. I'm really sad. I know that talking to a table of people that have played Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yeah.
But I'm sad at the lack of Assassin's Creed multiplayer because that was one of the few multiplayer. No, you're not? It's not. It's good?
Viewers.
Does this scratch the...
I think this is the time to say that the opinions of Mark.
Oh, now we're doing the opinions
Now we're
there.
doing it.
For the rest of us.
Christ.
I mean, you said something that was very controversial.
Yep,
Do
that's
people-
me.
Do people like Assassin's Creed multiplayer?
Yes.
I never
was
was into
Look,
it.
I thought it was incredibly innovative, for sure. Obviously, I think the metrics behind it, like, people didn't play it, which is why they ended up cutting it. But I think, no, it's just dope, right? Like, I think that it's like that spy party act, like NPC. I thought it was cool.
I don't know. I mean, I get the appeal of it. Games like Assassin's Creed are like my selfish one player. That is for me. I play Assassin's Creed for myself, by myself. I do what I want in that game.
You're God.
Yeah, and I don't worry about having to coordinate with other people.
Pets all the cats.
Exactly. If I want to spend an hour petting cats, I can spend an hour
for sure.
petting cats. It's just how it
Loading
works.
bodies in a boat.
So no, I mean I don't play multiplayer on my console though at all, which is where I played Assassin's Creed, and those are my games.
I do have to say though, with the combat system in this new one,
Be dope.
I actually could see. I don't know how they would do it. I would probably only play it once and then never play it again. But I would be curious to see that because it's definitely a much more complex combat system than before.
I think you're gonna like the God of War combat. It's so good. It's very weighted. It's very it feels Dark Soulsy and the shoulder buttons.
Sure, it's great.
It's good. It's very good.
The thing about the Assassin's Creed multiplayer is it never felt as tacked on to me.
Yeah.
And they didn't let it die.
No.
They said, "Oh, this isn't working. Okay, we're done.
Yep.
And let's put our resources into the single player.
Yeah, totally.
And reinventing
Well,
the wheel."
I mean, they tried a couple times.
Yeah, they did.
They
But
gave
they
it a few
didn't. They
good
didn't put it on
goes.
Syndicate,
Yeah.
and Syndicate
you're
would
right.
have been a great place for it.
Yeah,
I think.
I love that game.
But going back, some folks that I watch do Let's Plays of, they randomly went back into the Black Flag version, and I'm like, man, this game was fun.
Yep.
The not just Black Flag, but the multiplayer and taking on the various personas and not having it not be canon, but be an Animus training mission,
cool. Yeah.
and all of keeping all of the digital stuff like super fun. The tenseness of just being in a small room with 6 other people, 5 other people,
for sure.
however much, and you never know which one is you. And that was that. Maybe I liked it so much because I was good at it. It was one of the few multiplayer games where it's like, oh, I can take skills from the single player game that I enjoy and be good at something.
Yeah.
And it translates. Cool.
That's
great. I'm about it. So maybe that's why it stuck with me so much.
I was
but,
definitely bad at it, so that is a factor for sure.
Well, we're gonna get a Watch Dogs this year, even money that we get that, and that multiplayer is really good.
Speaking of pirates and BR, there's also a battle royale Maelstrom game. Wow. Maelstrom. Have you seen that game?
I've heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
I
in
watched a
action.
video. I kind of want to get it now. But
Ship
it's like
combat, right?
Yeah, but it's like a last man standing. Map shrinks. You pick
Cool.
up things. Looks really cool.
Was it Skull and Bones?
Yeah.
That we are expecting, or were expecting.
Is that supposed to be a BR too?
No,
No.
but that
But
just
there's
brought
a
up
ship
pirate, but
combat.
it's essentially an online ship combat
Yep.
game.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like more more HD Sea of Thieves, I guess.
Yep.
That's what it looked like.
I mean,
Except you were the
PUBG
ship.
on boats.
Yeah.
I'd be into
You can't
it.
get.
You're
out.
not people. You're just ship.
You're just the
You're
ship.
the ship.
You are the ship.
Hashtag
Yeah.
just ship.
Just ship.
Hello, I just shipped my pants.
You can ship your pants right now.
I could, but we're out of time.
Yep.
Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on this episode
such a
of
good
Inventory Full. And thank you so much to the fine folks at Popcorn Talk that we are in accordance with for giving us a studio to talk, rant, rave, shout, place hands on shoulders, and connect, cry, all of that stuff. Before we go, Patrick, where can folks find you online, and what are you working on?
Peter the Dees on Twitter, and I'm tweeting a lot about Gears. God of War, I'm sure. So
They're both GOW. I don't blame you.
I know. It's there. It's
Freudian
there.
slip.
I know.
Fair enough.
Hey, Stacey.
Hey guys, I'm Stacey Shuttleworth. You can find me all over the web at Stacey Shuttles or on PlayStation Network at Seriously Siri. I'll be trying to finish Far Cry, probably.
Do that. We need that spoiler cast.
I just keep getting really distracted.
Hey,
Lots
Nate.
to talk about.
What's up, nerds?
You said it again.
Nate Miller here. You can find me on all social media at DogLikeNate. I will be playing not League of Legends.
Yeah, good for you.
I'm saying it out loud.
Yeah.
I'll be
Stay
playing lots
sober.
of Crusader Kings.
Good man.
And I'm sure I'll be playing the PUBG event, whatever that is this weekend. So
Good
hit me
man.
up on Twitter or on Steam at StarFox, and we'll play some games.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I was like, that got me for a moment. Hi, I'm Mark B. Donica. I'm going to hopefully be able to play something this week, but this is one of the most busy weeks of my flippin' life. I'm doing double duty at various studios across the interweb. You can see me on Geek and Sundry on Thursday, Collider tomorrow for the movie trivia Schmodown. I have a title match against Jason Inman. Also on Collider on Thursday, I'm doing their wrestling podcast, and then Saturday is International Tabletop Day. There's going to be a stream happening at Geek and Sundry. I'm going to be involved in some way on screen, not just pressing buttons in the back, but I hope somewhere in between there I have a chance. I really do want to try out Radical Heights, despite hearing the negative stuff about it, mostly because, hey, it's free. But thank you so much to the fine folks who are watching us live on Twitch. Just so you know, we are on Inventory Full PT on Twitch. If you're watching this or listening to this after the fact, thanks again to the fine folks at Popcorn Talk. You can find them at the Popcorn Talk. But for everybody here at the table, we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.